Hello, I'm Azai. Welcome back to Onkatsu Akuma. I actually just ate some brunch. It's about 11:16 a.m. right now. It's a Tuesday, and I actually don't think I've told you guys this, but I am changing the way my schedule works when I go to the gym. So if you haven't really been paying attention, usually I go to the gym on Mondays to Wednesday. I take Thursday off and then I go to the gym again on Friday and Saturday. And then I also take Sunday off. Usually, when I do go with my brother or sister, after I'm done with the gym, I would go straight to their place. Or, go wherever we're gonna meet up. With my bike, of course. But yeah, I'm actually changing it since I'm bulking again. And right now I'm about 70 kilos. And it's been a good idea for me to space out my like leg days so that I have like one more rest session. So that's why I'm taking like Tuesday off now and also Friday off because on Wednesday it's gonna be my leg day. This is also a good like excuse anyway because my friend wants to go to the gym together with me and he can only go on the weekend. So right now my schedule is like Saturday to Monday, skip Tuesday, and then Thursday and Friday, and then I have another break on Saturday. So yeah, that is actually the schedule for my gym days now. But alright, enough about that. I'm not really haven't really done anything throughout the day, so not really much to talk about other than my gym schedule. But let's talk about last episode recap. So in the last episode, we didn't really learn too much about like Emmy on the last episode. What she's saying makes sense though because we were already close as family, and the fact that we were that close, it's kind of difficult to distinguish the border between whether we're girlfriend or just, siblings, right? Because they were just that close. So she makes a good point about how everything wasn't really different in terms of their day-to-day life, like schedule and experiences. So she's trying to make a point, and the thing that she suggests is so ridiculous. I don't think even couples actually do anal. Like a lot of my family, they're not really, they're perverted, but they're not really super kinky. Like, I kid you not, if they were to try to challenge me in terms of just how kinky stuff are when it comes to sexual knowledge, I probably would win hands down because I play these ridiculous games. Because for the most part, I think most people are not that kinky, guys. Like, the average people, they just have sex normally. Sure, sometimes they do something to enhance the experience, but not by that much. For the most part, I do think they just do like foreplay, they do missionary, they do doggy style, and then that's it. But okay, yeah, some people don't even do, like blowjobs or hand jobs or whatever. Some people actually think they're a bit too dirty. Like, especially blowjobs, I don't think girls mind. Girls actually mind using their mouth to put in your dick inside of their mouth. But alright. This is after the second H scene, which to me was super damn impressive, which was the anal scene. And it was fucking hot. The H scenes so far, I gotta say, I'm gonna rate that Emmy's H scenes are way better than Miyabi's or Mel's. But yeah, I'm gonna censor the shit out of this CG for you guys on YouTube. You guys on Patreon, A-okay. You guys on YouTube will probably just see the text box. Bouncing with delight, Emmy peels away her bikini bottom. Finally, I have the chance to share a bath with her in the nude. But yeah, I do apologize on the last episode. Like, the 10 minutes after the intro is probably gonna be just the game going on auto, since I tried to edit it out with my voice acting and also making the voices match out with the game, but it was just so difficult, guys. I could probably do it, but I don't know how long it would take. But yeah, I really just don't like editing in general, guys. So unless I'm editing a really huge chunk of a video out, I usually wouldn't really do it. So the editing that I have to do for the last episode is like kind of very micromanaging. So you gotta go to each section like second by second, and I'm like, holy crap, this is so annoying. And editing is just not something that I'm very passionate about. I'm more passionate about just giving you guys my thoughts when I'm recording like this, without much edits. But it's a bit late for that. We just had anal sex, and then followed it up with regular sex. The thrill just isn't the same. Not that I'm unhappy about this in any way. This is like the sex version of first world problems, isn't it? I don't know, to be honest, Emmy. Like, I don't really mind having anal sex if I actually clean the butt first. But some people, if you were to say this to someone else that's not really an ass person, I think they'd be freaking creeped out. As long as you're happy, so am I. Well, yeah, sure I am. I got to experience anal sex with my sister. Why wouldn't I be? Guess so. She certainly does seem overcome with joy. That dark expression I've seen on her before is nowhere to be found in her face now. If this clears up the issue she mentioned earlier, then all is well. I feel like it's really simplistic though, the like solution to her problem. I really don't think any sort of physical stuff like that would just clear her doubts about her trust issues. And I mean that in an emotional sense, not the sexual one. I mean, I guess. I mean, I don't know just how good anal is. I don't even know how good sex is. But I guess. I don't know, I think Sora would let me do that, Amy. I'm pretty sure no little sister in the world would even do intercrural with her brother. Much less everything we've done since then. Yeah, we're not gonna do that, okay, Amy? I'm not into that. I don't want to be sodomized. No! Why would you even want to do that? You don't even have a member to feel it. That's one thing that you're never ever gonna do in your entire life then. Yeah, no! I imagine a guy taking his sister's previously used dildo in his ass. That might not actually be so bad. What is wrong with these people? Just kidding, there's no way I'd be on board with that. Please spare me. Well, she does seem happier after the sex, I guess, so it's whatever. Amy just beams at me with glee. She might not even be too serious about this. Maybe she's just trying to make small talk because she's so giddy. A thought occurs to me then. There has to be yet another way I can deepen our love somehow. Besides kissing and sex naturally. I mean, as far as I can tell, what we just did couldn't have been enough to fix the source of Emmy's doubts. I agree? Yeah, we're not doing that, Emmy. I've been lost in thought since the other night. Amy and I deepened and confirmed our love in the bath, anally even. But something still feels incomplete. There's something deeper I need to find, prove. There must be a way to show my love to her. How do people usually show their love anywhere? By giving them gifts, by showering them with affection, right? I don't even know how to show my love. As I said on the previous episode, I think if I were to show my love, it would be when I think about that person sort of in the same line as how much I think about myself. But it's really hard to actually prove that, right? but I have no idea how to go about that. To begin with, what was it that made Amy lose faith in humanity? The answer lies with her past and her relationship with her first family. I need to learn about more about Emmy if I'm going to make any progress. She said she saw the deepest, darkest secrets of humanity, or the bad parts anyway. I already scoured every part of the web that pertains to her homeland. There has to be a simple way to alleviate the source of the problem. I'm sure that'll be the first step to curing her mistrust of humanity. Certain keywords show up whenever I look up Apollo. Golden and lead arrows, for example. The same thing Emmy told me about before. Being hit with a golden arrow instantly instills love in your heart. The lead arrow, as one would expect, does the opposite. Two phenomena that humanity would find hard to understand or accept. And Emmy used that same power? If her ancestors were cupids, then probably. I've learned a lot about the Greek myths surrounding the two kinds of arrows as well. It begins with Apollo mocking the original Cupid, then named Eros. In his anger, Eros struck Apollo with a golden arrow. Apollo immediately fell in love with a nymph named Daphne. After that, Eros struck Daphne with a lead arrow. Okay? This made her despise Apollo. So Apollo loves Daphne, but they can never be together, right? So the arrows were in Apollo's power. I was sure Emmy had descended from Apollo, so it was Eros all along. She has Eros' blood in her then. Huh. Emmy and Eros. Makes sense. Wait, what am I saying? It doesn't seem like I'm going to glean much useful information from this research. I had originally thought Apollo was a tragic character in the story, but now I see he had been asking for it. And that's basically trivia, worthless information, and I even had that wrong. So all I have to go on is what Emmy has already told me. Golden and lead arrows, huh? If I were to get hit with one of those lead ones, would I just end up coming to hate Emmy? So is this how he's gonna try to prove it? He wants to be hit by a lead arrow? I mean, in a fantasy setting like this, it's pretty easy to prove your love. But in the real world, it's going to be quite difficult too, especially for someone like me, who doesn't really show a lot of affection and also don't really want to give gifts as a form of affection, right? How do I prove my love to them when all they can do is probably just believe me, right? All they can do is believe that I'm actually thinking about them in my brain. They can't actually read my mind, so they're just gonna have to take my word for it. I've decided to consult with someone else about this. I won't come close to a solution to my problem if I just fret about it alone. Why are we coming to Tamachan though? He's useless. Give me a sec, guys. I think I kind of want to increase the volume a tiny bit here on my headphones. Just my headphones, not for you guys. There we go. And so, after a bit of searching, I find someone to give a brief summary of my issue. No, that's not what I came to do. All I wanted was a frank opinion. But, Tama has been single her whole life, so maybe it was cruel of me to bring this up to her. Yeah, I don't think they sell anything that would help there. Being jealous is not really a good emotion to have, Tama-chan. It makes you worse than you already are. And you're probably already at rock bottom. Tama-chan already has her booze out, even though it's still the middle of the day. She reaches for a bottle of whiskey and takes a swig. It's the middle of the afternoon. Please don't start drinking. That's just whiskey, and it's Emmy's. The amount Tama's down so far is already too expensive to say. Well, not that it really affects me, I guess. Tama-chan doesn't care. Time to move on. There should be someone else worth asking about this.
やっぱり兄弟の期間が長すぎたのがいけないのかな。
You think that's the main problem after all? I feel like it's not even going to be like what's the word? I feel like if I were to fall in love with someone, it would have to be after a long period of time being together with them too. So I don't think it's a matter of just being siblings, you know? Like if we spend a long time with someone before we actually say we love them, I don't think much of what we do are going to be any different, right? Yeah, sure, we're gonna go on dates, but most of the, like for the most part, our behaviors and our personality, we already know. Like maybe about 60% or 70% of them. Thankfully, Rirya takes my problem seriously. Damn mosquitoes! Alright guys, let me try to get this guy. Yes, I got it. Bitch.
幼なじみの私から見てもちょっと異常なくらい仲が良かったしね。私もすごく仲がいいなって思ってました。思ってましたって過去形になっちゃいましたけど、今もそう思ってます。うん、今もすごく仲がいいよね。
Yeah, we're actually so close that it's a problem, to tell the truth. Hmm? What is it, Arlen?
よくよく考えてみて思ったんですけど、付き合う前と付き合った後で関係が変わったような感じがしないというか。
I think that's a good thing, though. I feel like if you say to someone that you love them and then suddenly your relationship took a 180-degree like change, then that's fake.
仲はいいんですけど、恋人って感じではないですよね。あ、言われてみればそうかも。
I was afraid that might be the case. Nobody around us has the distinct impression that Emmy and I are an item. Seeing how we got along in the past, this makes perfect sense. Our relationship just hasn't changed much at all. That's not really a problem in my opinion.
そこが下手だから愛がうまく伝わっていないのです。大人の雑誌にそんなことが書いてあった気がするのです。
Shut the fuck up, Tama-chan. Tama-chan, are you already wasted?
酔ってないのです。
What a waste.
いや、案外的を射てるかもしれない。
Excuse me?
タマ先生が言ったその可能性は拭いきれない。レンがトコベタだから、エミちゃんが満足していない可能性が微粒子レベルで存在してる。
Nah. Why'd the conversation have to cross into this territory?
レンさん、トコベタだったんですね。
That's not true at all.
もしかして単勝？
Definitely not. I mean, maybe maybe the average Japanese guy would be pretty small.
でも前に触った時はすっごく大きかったような。ドキドキ。はい、すごく大きかったです。
Damn this game for being this sort of game.
ああ、かなり大きかったね。
そして暑かった。
I can't even make a retort to any of this, nor do I want to.
みんながそんな話をするから体がほてってきた。
Not having sex with any of you unless it's the harem route, okay?
よし、じゃあ改めて確認してみる必要があるのです。確かめるって何を？トコベタかどうかですか？単勝かどうか？全部なのです。愛が伝わってない原因をはっきりと確かめるのです。だから今ここでレンちゃんを脱がすのです。
Hey, no, wait. Stay out of this, you drunk. I really feel like love should be something that... I don't know, guys. It's very difficult for me to explain love. Like, I do think when you try to monopolize someone when you love them, it's kind of weird. But at the same time, that's how love works, right? In the real world, I guess that's how it works. I personally don't want that to happen though. I don't really want to monopolize someone. Sure, I want to make someone that I fall in love with to be someone special, but if I were to monopolize them, I think that's weird. Like, they're not an item, they're their own person, right? But you hear in these, like, sexual games about how they actually want to be, you know, to be monopolized by someone. So that's why I feel like my concept of love, my definition of it, is just way too different from what's being portrayed to some of these games. Like, sometimes you actually hear the girls wanting to be, used for your sake, right? I'm like, what the fuck? That's not right. Everyone's eyes focus on me. And I hope that if I do find someone, I'm not gonna find someone like that. That wants to be monopolized or want to be used for my own personal sake or whatever. That's not how love works in my opinion. I know I'm being way too serious talking about love when we're playing these sort of games, but this actually still correlates to the problem that I that I experience with love, because the way they're portraying love is just so not how I see it. I can't tell how serious they are about this, but I'm pretty sure I don't want to find out.
大丈夫。痛くはしないから。
はいちょっと裸になってもらうだけですから身も心も温かくなるレン君は私とするのは嫌
Yeah, I don't want to. They come a step closer, and then another. They close in from all sides. Look, seriously, this is a really bad idea. I've already promised that I only belong to Emmy. No! Suddenly, a fist flies out at me from my blind spot.
お兄ちゃんたち何やってるの
A voice I haven't heard in this scene yet enters the fray. I know who hit me now. Emmy! Here she is. I have no idea when she came in. Is this a new outfit she got? Or is this something she used to wear already? Feels kinda new to me. This is the worst possible turn of events. Amy saw the other girls trying to assault me again. The pressure I feel from her demeanor is downright frightening. I'd have to be blind and deaf not to notice the bad mood she's in. But wait! This is just a misunderstanding!
そのセリフは誤解があった人間が使う言葉みたいだよ。
I'm the innocent one here.
パンイチじゃ説得力がない
What am I supposed to do then?
浮気なのお兄ちゃん浮気なのやっぱり私みたいな妹とは遊びだったの
I mean, I guess I can't blame her for seeing it like this, since she got issues. Emmy, listen, I can explain. Let me start from the beginning and you'll see that it's not like that.
もう知らないお兄ちゃんのバカ最低
I mean, she didn't even let me explain. After yelling at me, Emmy storms out of the room. Emmy! She won't even let me try to talk to her.
言っちゃった
This isn't my fault.
なんだかすごく怒ってたねエミちゃんがあんなに怒ってるところ初めて見ました
I've never seen her like that either. She's usually so bubbly and bright. I don't think she's ever worn any negative emotion on her sleeve like that. I can't believe she got so mad so quickly.
なんだかエミちゃんらしくないね。
Do you know how she's usually like? I mean, for someone who never really shows their true self, you don't really know how they're like. To be honest. Usually, people would only try to show off what they want you to see, right? Not necessarily what they're like.
いろいろと溜まってた
I wasn't even remotely tempted to cheat on her, much less actually going to do it. Cheating. Let me think. Cheating.
どうしたのです 何か心当たりでもあるのですか？
I recall the words Emmy said to me before, typo, when she was drunk.
何がわかってるよだよ。お兄ちゃんも信用できない。だって、いつ浮気するかわかんないもん。バカバカ。
Well, the way I see it, like, even though I don't really trust people, right? I don't think I'm a bad judge of character. If I actually chose someone and then they cheat on me, I'm not gonna blame that person. I'm actually gonna blame myself for actually being such a bad judge of character. And because we never had sex, I feel like I don't really miss out on anything. Sure, there's gonna be some emotional damage because it feels like she lied to me about her behavior and stuff, but I mean, I can always get back at it, right? It's not like it's going to leave too much of a scar on me. She can't put her trust in me. She doesn't know if I'm going to cheat on her. I took those lines as a joke when I heard them, but she was seriously worried about that. And now her doubts have been confirmed, at least in her eyes. What other result could there have been from this? I find it also a bit weird that there's no BGM throughout the whole scene that we have here. But we weren't done there. Everyone's faces have turned dark. I can only assume everyone is blaming themselves for this. Hey, it's okay. It's not you girls' fault. Yes, it is! What they can do is just go together with them and, just explain it. If they start apologizing, then it's probably, gonna be good enough. At least to resolve this issue. Not the main issue about her trust issues, but, at least this one would be resolved. Actually, it's kind of everybody's fault. Exactly, see? What I don't like about Ren is that the first thing out of his mouth is always to make it so that people don't feel bad about themselves and not actually the truth. I don't know if this is like a trait that he has, but it's something that's really bothering me. It really bothers me. If Emmy hadn't come in with that punch, I probably would have let them take advantage of me. Ah, you're so garbage, Ren. Though going by that logic, Tama-chan got that ball rolling. Anyway, there's no point worrying over whose fault it was. At the end of the day, if you actually would make them do what they do, it's your fault, Ren, for not having self-control. You can blame your situation all you want. When you're as old as Ren, it's not a matter of how, your environment shapes who you are. It's about how you chose to adapt to the environment and how you make choices to stop the environment from affecting you. When you're a kid, sure, you can say the environment shaped who you are, but when you're an adult, sorry, you can't use that excuse anymore. It doesn't matter. I'll find a way to deal with Emmy myself. I'll go chase after her now. The first thing I have to do is clear up this misunderstanding. Still no BGM. This is creeping me out, guys. I rush out of the dorm and look for her around town. Not here. Where could she have gone? As I run around the place searching, the sun begins to set. I have to find her before it gets dark out. Evening approaches as I arrive at the beach reserved for us. Nobody else is around, of course. However, a quick scan of the shoreline reveals one unmistakable figure. Why is she here? In her, I see the same lonely little girl I met in the park all those years ago. This time, she's just standing there, wallowing in sadness. I don't see any anger in her face anymore. I've been looking for you everywhere.
お兄ちゃん。
Won't people realize you're an angel if you're dressed like that? Oh, this is our angel garb. And isn't it risky to run around with your wings out?
大丈夫だよ。プライベートビーチだから人が全然いないし。 誰かに見つかってもコスプレだって思われるくらいだから大丈夫だよ。
Yeah, I think what Ren's gonna try to suggest for Emmy is to shoot us with a lead arrow or something. In the real world, though, I don't think it's possible for you to determine how to actually show your love. That's how I see it. Oh, okay. People can say that you have sex, you make a kid, and that's your physical manifestation of love. But in the real world, to be completely honest, guys, people just have sex for the sake of feeling good, for the sake of their own instinct and sexual desires. It's not as pretty as what we want to believe. This is stupid. This isn't what I came here to talk about. First, I have to apologize to Emmy. Emmy, I'm sorry. Really, I am. But what happened back there isn't what you think. I was trying to ask everyone for advice on our relationship. And then Tama-chan came in, smashed on your whiskey.
うん、分かってる。私、ついカッとなっちゃったけど、お兄ちゃんがそういう人じゃないのは知っているから。
Oh. I feel a wave of relief upon hearing that Emmy actually listened to me. Hey Emmy, I know she can't seem to trust anyone, including herself at this point. So how am I supposed to help her get over that? I mean, unlike Emmy, I do trust myself. Quite a lot, actually. In fact, sometimes I trust myself a bit too much, and I get overconfident. Why do you think you and I were able to become siblings, Emmy? I'm asking, do you know why we can be together?
そんなの、わかんないよ。
What is it that keeps us together? I don't know. It's because Mom and Dad opened our doors to you when you were a runaway. After you fled your world to come here, I mean. You remember that much, right?
うん。そうだね。
Are you not able to trust Mom and Dad either? You think our parents are secretly bad people? That they have some ulterior motive for taking you in? I mean, I do think my dad isn't really a good person. I don't think he's evil, but I don't think he's a good person. Same as me, so I can't really blame him for being the same way as I am, right? But when I was a kid, I definitely do think that he was a bad person. Now, as I look back, he's just the same as I am. But because I know that he's the same as I am, I definitely do think that he wasn't ready to have kids, right? And he had 5 kids, you know? So I still don't think very fondly of my dad.
ううん、思わないよ。
Do you remember what you said the other night? You still think the world is full of nothing but horrible people. I'm not saying that nobody in the world deserves that description, but there are plenty of good people too. Plenty would be kind of overstating. I don't think it's right to just slap that label on every person in the world.
うん。
But being pessimistic about people is better, for the most part, to be honest, Ren, than just being overly optimistic that they're a kind person. You're gonna get taken advantage of, as I said. There should be plenty of people out there who you can put your trust in. I think it's a good idea to have more faith in humanity. I don't.
うん。うん。
She nods and mumbles, more to convince herself than agree with me. But her expression remains as clouded over as when I found her.
お父さんとお母さんは見ず知らずの私を迎え入れてくれたんだよね。だから私は今ここにいられるんだよね。お兄ちゃんと一緒にいられるのが当たり前になりすぎててすっかり忘れてた。
Yeah.
そうだよね。優しい人だってちゃんといるんだよね。
Yeah, I'm not denying that fact, but there's just a lot more bad people out there. So that's why I think the way you think is not wrong, Emmy. It's more of a protective mindset.
信じても損しない人だっているんだよね。ありがとう、お兄ちゃん。
Finally, the gloom over Emmy's face lifts. She's still not quite the bouncy, cheerful Emmy I know, but as long as it's not a sad face she's making, I can accept that result. Smile suit her so much better.
ちょっとは信じてみようかなって思えた。すぐには無理かもしれないけどね。
It's progress. It'll do for now. As long as she doesn't refuse, this is a good starting point. It gives me hope that we can beat this problem for good, if only a little. Everyone else is worried about you. Let's sit back.
もう少しここでお兄ちゃんと一緒にいたいな。
Here I thought we actually are going to ask her to shoot us with that lead arrow.
二人きりで一緒にいたい。
I'll give you all the time I've got. Whatever you want, I'll do it for you. Anything to keep her happy.
なんでも本当？
I can put it in writing if you want.
それ私が言ってた言葉。パクらないでよ。
Aw, can't I be a little proactive? Gradually, the cheer returns Semi's sown. We've already made our way back to the witty banter stage.
じゃあ仲直りも兼ねてエッチしよう。
Whatever you want, Emmy, I guess. At this point, I guess Ren is just gonna say yes. Huh? No? Okay. I'm surprised he didn't just say yes.
お願い事何でも聞いてくれるんでしょ？
Yeah, after saying all that, Ren, it's kinda too late to back out. Amy steps forward and presses herself against me. I don't know if we should do it here.
ちょっと移動すれば大丈夫だよ。人なんて全然いないし。
This is why I feel like whenever you guys have sex when you're not married yet, you kind of fall you use it as a crutch, guys. You use it as a crutch to try to fix things when things aren't fixed yet. I dislike that. That's why I'll only do this with my wife. Because it feels like if we keep defaulting to doing this when we're not married yet, we're gonna always rely on this, even though there's other things that we can try, not just sex. True.
私にお兄ちゃんを信じさせて。
By having sex? Well, now I can't possibly say no, can I? Not that I would have refused if she hadn't said that. Okay, I'm actually gonna voice act this, but people on YouTube, patreon.com/Azaikyousuke. Last time I didn't voice act it because the first H scene I was eating my chips because I was so hungry. But I just ate some brunch today, so I am completely fueled up. Alright, let's do this. I don't know whether or not to call that the scent of happiness, Ren. But it was nice. Welcome back, YouTube. Gotta say it was a nice scene, but not as good as the previous episode scene, I'm telling you. If this was an 8, the other scene was a 9. Eventually, we get up and realize that there's a shower nearby. A few minutes of rinsing and light grooming later, we're in much more presentable condition. It should be enough to keep all but the most perceptive people from realizing what we've been doing. Emmy lets out a heavy sigh. Emmy lets a heavy sigh leave her chest as we start heading back. Her expression has turned dark again. What's wrong? You were happy as a clam just a few minutes ago.
ちょっと不安になっちゃって。
About what?
エッチしてる間はお兄ちゃんをいっぱい感じられてすごく幸せなんだけどな。でも今は不安かも。
I mean, yeah, you're probably gonna be anxious because when you're having sex, it's just you trying to... Like, it's not you that's actually taking over, it's your base natural instincts.
お兄ちゃんは本当に私のことを愛してる？
See, like, the sex doesn't even do anything to alleviate her worries. It probably did, but only during the time that we actually did have sex. But after that, it's gonna come back. Emmy, I finally got to hear the full story in her family situation, but words alone won't fix this. I don't think I'm equipped to dispel Emmy's doubts myself. What can I possibly do to convince her? I'm sure there is something that I can do for her. At the very least, if words won't do it, then action should help. Is it enough just to embrace her, kiss her, and tell her that she doesn't need to worry? No. That's too convenient, too ordinary, too cliched. It has to be something that really shows her what she means to me. Something that blows away all the baggage she has from the abuse she has suffered in showbiz. I really don't think she suffered all that much, to be honest, because they never really showed what she suffered about. Sure, there's darkness in showbiz, but there's darkness in anything. You know? Something that negates all the stress of this Apollo stuff. If I can't do something on that level, there's no point trying. Am I even capable of something like that? No, wait. Alright, give me that lead arrow, Emmy. What was I thinking before? Apollo, right. Apollo. Aha, that's it. Hey, Emmy, can you use those lead arrows? I want you to hit me with one of those. Getting hit by a lead arrow. This is the foundation of my newfound plan. Yeah, if I can persevere from that, that means that I love you, right? Yeah, I know. The lead arrows negate any love I feel, right? Come on, Emmy, put 2 and 2 together, alright? Wrong. I want you to do it because I love you. I want to prove that even if you hit me with one of those, my love for you won't disappear. Unfounded confidence? I'm sure because I know just how much I love you. I know this sounds ridiculous. Gonna say something stupid like, don't underestimate my love for you too, damn it. I'm confident that this will work. That's just how much you mean to me. So just do it. Whatever happens to me, I promise that my feelings will never waver. This will prove that I really do love you. Just trust me. If you have even the slightest shred of trust in me, you can spend it all on this one thing. Please. I take Emmy's hand in mine and give it a gentle squeeze. Her small, delicate hand is trembling. I look straight into her eyes, determined. Believe in me, Emmy. Emmy looks away awkwardly. Her eyes are trembling as well. It looks like she's about to cry. But... if only there was something like this in the real world too, it'd be so much easier to know whether or not someone actually loves you. Amy looks up and fiercely returns my determined gaze. It's not that she trusts me now, but what this does mean is that she wants to. That alone makes me happy. Thank you, Emmy. I feel like she wouldn't love you if she doesn't trust you in the first place, to be completely honest, but... who am I to say what she's feeling and what she's not feeling? Amy takes a step back to put some distance between us. I can tell that she's still fighting for some hesitation. Actually, a lot more than some hesitation. But she still wants to trust me, and she knows that. Yeah, whenever you're ready. She doesn't have a CG with her shooting the bow. The instant that last word leaves her lips. The world turns white before my eyes. I don't know what just happened. I feel no pain. I see nothing. Nothing but this bright white light. Finally, the light fades away. How long was I out, sitting here with my eyes bathed in light? Seems like it was just an instant. However, it felt much longer to me. I'm not sure how to describe exactly how I feel right now.
お兄ちゃん
What happened to me? What was the result?
お兄ちゃん
Amy peers into my eyes anxiously. It still looks like she's about to cry. Ugh, I can't say this. I'll die. Ugh, I can't. Okay, I never want us to ever be apart. God, you're killing me, Ren. I get up and throw my arms around her. I thought he's gonna be like, you know, a bit joking about it, that there's nothing wrong with him. But he went all serious. I couldn't stop myself from doing this even if I wanted to. I felt like if I didn't embrace her right away, Amy might disappear from my life forever.
お兄ちゃんお兄ちゃんお兄ちゃん
Amy cries out for me over and over. Her body trembles again, her strained voice loud despite how close we are. Tears flow from her eyes and trail down her cheeks freely. Come on, no need to cry. We just got you cleaned up. Don't ruin that cute face by looking all sad.
お兄ちゃんなんともないの
Yep, nothing's changed a bit.
本当になんともないの
Wanna have sex again? Honestly, I'm not even sure you hit me with the thing.
撃ったよちゃんと撃ったもん
Really? And that means that the love we share is way too strong for a little lead arrow to break. Didn't I tell you to trust me? That's the power of love, baby. Ah, you're killing me, Ren! Wait, was that too cheesy?
そんなことない
Your worries seem so pointless now, don't they? Good thing we managed to stamp them out here, huh? I know that this had to be the most serious issue on Emmy's mind. As it turns out, sweeping away her doubts was a much simpler process than I expected. Because, well, because you got the options to do so in this world, Ren. In the real world, it's not as easy.
お兄ちゃんを信じてよかった間違ってたのは私の方だったんだね私が思っていたよりも世の中って捨てたもんじゃなかったんだね
I think you understood at some point before, but you deliberately stopped seeing the truth because you were afraid. Confirming what she thought might be true was a scary proposition. She was afraid the result would dash her hopes. But it's all okay now. From now on, if you ever get anxious about something or have your doubts about anything, I want you to tell me. I'll be there to help you through it. Be it as your brother or your lover. I'll always support you. I was gonna say younger brother for some reason. I don't know why.
お兄ちゃん私もっと信じてみたいお兄ちゃんだけじゃなくて他の人も信じたい私お兄ちゃんを信じてよかったありがとうお兄ちゃん
Amy finally shows me a genuine smile. Where'd all her anxiety go? I can't see it anywhere in that face. I really don't think you need to thank me for that.
そんなことないよ
Actually, I should be the one thanking you. Thanks for believing in a nobody like me, Emmy. Now's the start of the long process of dispelling Emmy's misanthropy for good. That's what you call it, misanthropy? The fact that you don't like humans? I get the impression that Emmy and I didn't exactly fit the bill for what a pair of lovers should look like before now. Even after this, others might still think we're a close pair of siblings. Hell, some may even think we're just good friends. But we'll show them. From this point onward, Amy and I will behave more and more like a couple. And what is and how does a couple behave, Ren? Okay, well, why don't we head back to the dorm now? Everyone else is waiting there, worried about you.
あでもちょっと待って帰る前にどうしてもお兄ちゃんに言っておきたいことがあるの
Absolutely have to. What?
お兄ちゃん大好き。
That the ending? Yup, that is the ending. I actually remember that last H scene when I was playing through this, so I actually did finish up Emmy's route. And I think the only route that I finished was Emmy's, because I remember that last H scene. I do think the story, the proposition, you know, the emotion that Emmy was feeling was true. I just feel like this game can't really delve too deeply in the solution, right? I feel like the solution was way too simple and easy. It brought up a good point about how love is very weird, right? You don't really know what sort of like shape it holds. And I agree, it's very difficult to ascertain what love is. But the fact that they kinda just have this magic arrow that dispels love, it's too easy. I mean, still a much better story though, in my opinion, than Miyabi-senpai's. Definitely a lot more serious compared to hers. And her H scene was actually hotter. So I do actually like Emmy's route a whole lot more. This route was pretty good. I'd say I'd give it a 7.5. If I can give Miyabi-senpai a 7. Or maybe a 6.5. Hey, I don't even have to censor anything on this ending sequence. We're probably still gonna have some... Ah, shit! It crashed on me again! Give me a sec, guys. And we're back. There we go. It seems I do have to like skip the ending sequence, or like whenever there's a movie playing, I gotta skip it for some weird reason. And hey, Emmy actually doesn't have a CG that's naked. So that's kind of good. But okay, last thing we're gonna do for Emmy here is, of course, we're gonna do her after story. We're not gonna do the Hachibana Mao, huh? Is there like voice actress? We're gonna do these 3 after stories, and after that we're gonna end the game. Or end the episode anyway. So next one we're gonna do Reika-san. Reika-san, and then we're gonna do Riria. But first things first, let's finish up. Is it just me, or has Pochi been seen better days?
いつもと変わらないと思うけど、相変わらず幸の薄そうな顔してるよ。
Loser face? That's mean. Wow, that's cold. I do get a vague impression of despair from Pochi's expression, but come on. Doesn't seem to be eating as much as she used to.
そう言われればそうかも。ご飯残しちゃってるね。いつもならハグハグ言ってすぐに食べちゃうのに。
I actually mixed in a bit of chicken with her food today, but she still didn't eat it all. If she eats her food too slowly, Yomei steals it. So what if she's actually sick?
こんな時、ポチの言葉がわかればいいんだけどね。ん？ポチの言葉？あ、私いいこと思いついちゃった。
Your great ideas aren't very great, Emmy. I do like Emmy's voice actress. I gotta take a look at who she voices on all the other games. You are a new guest.
それで、ポチの通訳のために僕が呼ばれたわけですね。リン、できる？僕は虎だよ、ジンコだから。できないの？できないこともないけど。
So she can do it after all. I'm not sure what made Emmy believe a tiger would be able to understand dog speak, though. However nonsensical that logic is, it seems she was right. It's a good thing you're a cat, Rin-chan. Thanks.
だから僕は猫じゃないです。トラッコです。
Right. Sorry about that. Rin-chan, your ears and tails are out again.
うっかり耳を出したから髪がボンバっちゃいました。
We gave Rin-chan the chance to recalm her hair before we continue. The process takes about 10 minutes. That's a long time. This is why I always shave my head bald, guys. I don't got time for useless shit like that. Once that's finally finished, it's time to start translating Pochi's complaints. Though I do think girls with long hair look a lot nicer, but I'm a guy of convenience. As long as you still look pretty with your like short hair, I don't really care, right? I do think Rinchan looks pretty good with her short hair, but even that takes 10 minutes to comb through? God damn! Rinchan repeatedly nods to signify this. She kneels and holds her ear close to Pochi's face.
どうやらポチはご近所に住んでる柴犬に恋をしているみたいです。でも告白する勇気がなくてと言っています。
You're a freaking dog, just go hump that other guy. In love? So she's just lovesick then? That's why she's having trouble eating? I mean, animals aren't like humans, guys. Trust me, they're more base than animals. If you walk together with a dog on the same breed of dog in a park or something, if they're in mating season and they're in heat, they're just gonna hump each other. Well, at least that means she isn't actually sick.
だったら私の出番だよね。
Hmm?
恋の悩みならキューピッドにお任せ。私の黄金の矢を使えば意地でも告白したくなるはずだよ。
Okay, makes sense. It's true that striking someone with a golden arrow instills the deepest love in them. With that, we might be able to give Pochi the push she needs to approach her would-be beau. Is that how you say that? Beau?
それじゃあ早速。
A flash of light. Amy didn't even wait to fire that arrow. The otherworldly power renders us unable to see for a moment.
ポチ、どう？告白したくて仕方がないでしょ？
Is it gonna be the Ren?
何も変わらないって言ってるよ。
What? Is your arrow just garbage, Ren?
ポンコツだって言ってるよ。本当にそんなこと言ってるの？嘘だよね。
Amy's still not up to snuff, it seems. Her lead arrow had no effect on me, so it makes sense that the golden one wouldn't affect Pochi.
黄金の矢がダメなら別の方法で。頑張れ頑張れ頑張れ頑張れポーチ。
Cupid, the cheerleader of love. There's something the world's never heard of before. All she's missing are the pom-poms.
男なら気合い入れていきなさい。ほら。
This is a girl, Lemmy. Amy slaps Pochi on her fuzzy back. Cupid, the cattle prod of love. This is getting stupid. Pochi's not even male. Amy's words don't make any sense.
これでもダメか。
That you, Shigeru? That voice! God, your voice sucks, Shigeru. Shigeru! Pochi barks with renewed energy in response to Shigeru's song. Is Pochi's whining and pouting all an act?
シゲルの歌に背中を押されたって言ってるよ。
Ow!
これから告白しに行ってくるって。え、マジ？
30 minutes later, Pochi struts back to the dorm with her head held high.
告白は大成功だと言っています。
Oh, nice.
俺はもう童貞じゃないぜ、ベイビー。だそうです。
Whatever you say, Rinchan. There's no way she fit all that into one syllable. Rinchan is definitely throwing extra details in there. But well, it does add spice to the story, so whatever. And besides, how would Pochi do the ramming? She's female.
ポチが元気になってよかったですね。
That I can agree with. On the other hand, Emmy? What's wrong?
果たしてシゲル以下なの？ああ、めちゃくちゃショック。
Oh, I kinda skipped that. What did she say?
何か見逃した？
Cheer up, Emmy, and keep working at it until the name of Cupid is yours. Oh, that's a short one. That was a super short one. The one with Mel was actually way longer. You know, I kind of want to see what you were like as an idol.
アイドルの私？急にどうしたのお兄ちゃん。
Well, look at your Amelia-chan magazine spread. I opened up the old magazine to the page she appeared in. I really want to see her like that again. My original reason for saying that was this magazine page.
ちょっとお兄ちゃん、そんなもの持ち出さないでよ。他の人に見られちゃったらどうするの？
Hey, don't worry about it. We're the only ones in the whole dorm right now. It's another day off from school. Everyone else has already left the dorm on errands and the like. Emmy and I, however, are lounging about in the living room. Every brother in the world is Emmy's follower. Is that the line that she said?
恥ずかしいんだから読まないでよ。
Emmy's face turns a panic crimson. She lunges for the magazine, but I hold it out of her reach. Quite a fuss. You look so cute in this.
お兄ちゃんのロリコン。
Lolicon. I prefer Siscon. Siscon, noun. An abbreviation for sister complex. A relatively common phrase in some online circles. Don't you feel at least a little tempted to get back into the idol business?
ない。
Instant rejection. Okay.
お兄ちゃんはどうして私にアイドルなんかやらせたいの？
I probably just want to do some cosplay sex, Emmy. Let's be real. Let's be real!
まさかお金が欲しいとか？
No, no, not at all. Of course not.
じゃあどうして？
Because I want to be the guy who can say, you know, Emmy-chan is my girlfriend.
うわ、お兄ちゃん最低。
What's wrong with that? I want to have access to your dressing room so we can do it in your Cupid idol costume.
あ、それって私もすごく興味あるかも。私もお兄ちゃんとそういうとこでそういう衣装でエッチしてみたいかも。
You're the worst kind of angel.
てか？
We're both the worst. We're both driven by our base desires at heart. That's the definition of a horrible person, I've been told.
お兄ちゃんがどうしてもって言うなら、私もう一回アイドルやってみてもいいよ。
I don't really care about the idol thing, to be honest, Emmy. Let's just do some cosplay sex. Our interests have aligned. Perfect. Now Emmy's actually going to try being an idol again. Commence Operation Sis Doll.
冷やし中華みたいに言わないでよ。
Okay, let's think up a strategy for how you're going to make your debut.
戦略？
Our first order of business, thinking up a self-introduction routine for Emmy to give once she has the spotlight.
お兄ちゃんのみんな、新世代の愛の天使エミリアちゃんが帰ってきたよ。
Localization! Why is that Emmy-chan?
またまたお兄ちゃんたちのハートをエミのラブアローでキュンキュンさせちゃうぞ。ズッキュン。というか、これ恥ずかしすぎ。
Oh, Emmy-chan, that wasn't right at all. That was just too ordinary.
じゃあどうすればいいの？プロデューサー。
Good question. I'm Emmy's producer come manager now, by the way. Maybe instead of Oni-chan, you say Onitan. We just have to figure out what has more impact, you know? I'm getting really into this.
うん、わかった。キュビビビビーン。
What is that sound?
泣き虫甘えん坊お兄たんたちの妹エミだよ。世界中のお兄たんはエミのとりこ。エミのラブアローは絶対必中なんだからね。じゃあ行くよお兄たん。ラブアローシュー。
Oh, now that's exciting.
ち
Could have sworn nobody else was here. When did Riria show up?
リリーね、いつから見てたの？お兄ちゃんのみんなからかな。最初から全部じゃん。
りによってリリネーに見られるなんて恥ずかしすぎてもう生きていけないよ。
Ashamed? By one person seeing it? You were thinking of having this broadcast all over the country.
それとこれとは話が別。
Whoa, sorry, I guess? Emmy's sharp change in attitude elicits an automatic apology from you.
大丈夫だよエミちゃん、すごく可愛かったよ。全然恥ずかしくなんかないよ。そんなエミちゃんにお願いがあるんだけど、一回でいいから私のことお姉さんって呼んでほしいな。
You don't seem like a big sister type, to be honest, Riria, so no thank you.
穴があったら埋まりたいよ。
Riria, you just made it even worse. Emmy might not recover from this if anybody pushes any harder.
棺桶ならありますけど。ある？もしかしてあるも全部見てたの？うん。何をしてるかはよくわかんなかったけど、すごく可愛かった。もういいや。
You're exaggerating, Emmy, that's fine. Hey, Emmy! Emmy dashes off at full speed. In the end, plans for Emmy's return to the stage are scrapped. What a shame, truly. What a shame, truly. So no cosplay sex? The next day? What if instead of being a singing idol, you went to grab your route?
Yeah.
Damn you, Ren. Alright, last one. This is probably gonna be... what the... I was gonna say this is probably gonna be the same as Mel one. Mel is like last after story route. There's gonna be an 8 scene, but what the? They just jumped straight for it. CG and all. Return.com Azaikyousuke. I'm not gonna voice act this though, so see you guys on YouTube. People on Patreon. Enjoy. Jesus, they wasted no fucking time. That can't be the end, right? Okay, whoo! I was like, holy shit, are they gonna have a full after story just for an 8 scene? That was intense. Amy and I strolled down the hall on the way toward our respective classrooms. But yeah, that 8 scene was hot, guys. Come back, YouTube. Wait, no, I don't want auto. No? Lunch has ended, leading into the break time that follows. Thankfully, there's enough time for a bit of leisure in our trip back downstairs. Yes, we did it like a lot of times that time, Emmy. This one had those X-ray kind of like, you know, close-ups. I do think it's a lot hotter when those things actually are there. I don't know why. It's weird, right? I don't understand the reasoning why it's hot. I just think it's hot. Technically speaking, you don't even should think that that's hot because it's just like an X-ray of inside of their womb and pussy, but I don't know. Why do I think that's hot? It's a dilemma. It's a question. You gotta think philosophically about that. But damn, that was hot. Emmy probably has the hottest 8 scenes out of all this game, to be honest. I don't think there's anyone that can top her 8 scenes. In terms of like, you know, just body type too, she's probably second best compared to Miyabi-senpai. But Miyabi-senpai cannot reach the levels of Emmy's 8 scenes. I do think she probably has the best one so far. Judging by the personality, I don't think anyone else is gonna top hers though. Yeah, and on school grounds no less. And why don't we just skip it? We're ruining our lives, man. The claim of not being able to focus in class was just a formality. A lie, really. Amy just wants to have sex in every place imaginable.
お兄ちゃんはどこでしたい？
Let's do it at a karaoke box, I guess.
公園の茂み？公衆トイレ？それともリリネの部屋？
Are you into actually getting caught, Emmy? Are you into getting watched? Are you into exhibitionism? The last option concerns me. All of those options sound problematic for several reasons, but that's the only one I'll give her a tort for.
私は外で開放的な感じがいいな。
As long as I'm doing it with you, anywhere's fine with me. You guys are gonna go to jail at some point.
よーし、じゃあ早速学園から抜け出しちゃおう。
おい
Suddenly, a voice calls out to us. I know who that is. Reika-san! Hello, next sight route girl.
やば。
Which I probably won't like because your boobs are too big. Did she hear us planning to sneak out?
本当にサボろうなんて思ってないからね。
You're dumb, Amy. Yeah, what she said. We were just kidding, honest.
そう、冗談。私たちが授業サボるわけないじゃん。
お前らは一体何の話をしているんだ？
Reika-san tilts her head quizzically. She hadn't overheard us talking about running off after all.
まさか授業をサボろうとしてたのか？
Ah, damn it. We've dug our own graves.
まあ今日のところは許してやろう。
レイカさんマジ天使。
許さなくてもいいんだぞ。
ごめんなさい。
というかせっかく人が真面目な話をしようとしているのに話をそらすな。
真面目な話？
お前たちにどうしても話しておきたいことがある。
Both of us. What is it?
実はエミの実のご両親から連絡をもらった。
Actual story?
私のパパとママから？
Amy's real parents. They haven't even tried to contact her ever since she came to live with me. Why would they choose now to do so? And why do it through Reika-san?
エミ、この前キューピッドの力を使っただろ。
うん。鉛の矢を使ったけど。
We explained the story behind that to Reika-san. We summarized the whole emotional issue by saying we had a fight. And so, to prove how much I love her, I let her hit me with the lead arrow. Lead. But it had no effect on me. I just abbreviated it to the extreme, but that's the gist of it.
お前たちはなんて危ないことをしてるんだ。
Reika-san presses her fingers against her temples in exasperation. Her disbelief is palpable.
鉛の矢を打ち込まれて効果がないわけないだろ。愛情を抱いたままでいられるわけがないだろう。
Wait, but didn't it have no effect? Aren't I still here doing that?
普通なら愛情を抱いたままではいられない。普通ならだ。
Alright, what's the real deal then?
どういうこと？
Ordinarily, what is she trying to tell us?
レンが愛を拒絶しなかったのはエミのキューピッドとしての力不足が原因だ。エミがキューピッドの名前を襲名できるレベルだったら即アウトだったんだぞ。
I see. Seriously? So that's why her arrow didn't break us apart. Emmy simply doesn't have the power to make it work. If we hadn't been so lucky, I might have rejected Emmy in the end. Why were we so rash as to risk crossing the wrong bridge like that? Just thinking about it makes me shudder.
エミがポンコツで幸いだったというわけだ。
ポンコツ？
そう、ポンコツだ。
Being called airheaded would normally send Emmy into a fit of vehement denial. She doesn't seem willing to reject what Reika-san says this time. I'm sorry, Emmy.
なんでお兄ちゃんは謝ってるの？
Well, I asked you to do something stupid to prove myself. I try to act all bold and serious, but I seriously risk ruining everything. I'm ashamed of myself. I may never live it down. That's the power of love? What a stupid, cheesy line. I want to prostrate myself before her and then look for a hole to bury myself in.
大丈夫、大丈夫。結果オーライだよ、お兄ちゃん。
True? But we were just lucky. But
そんなに暗い顔しないでよ。私は気にしてないから。
how are you so positive about this? Everything that happened on the beach that day has been reversed. Doing all that to prove my love to Emmy was for nothing. How is Emmy still so confident and bright about all this?
今となっては結果なんてどうでもいいんだよ。あの時お兄ちゃんの覚悟を感じられたからそれでいいの。
Were we prepared for that? Or was just Ren just super overconfident about his love for you?
結果はどうであれ、お兄ちゃんの愛を確かに感じられたからそれでいいの。
Emmy,
だから結果オーライだよ。
you're so oversimplifying this issue. Not too long ago, Emmy would have reverted back to her doubtful self and would have made no progress. But she's different now. Emmy has grown since then. She's taken a step forward, so to speak.
やれやれ。伝えることも伝えたし、私は戻るぞ。
That's the only reason they contacted her? I was like, no, that was useless. Aura is still as cool as ever. The messenger calmly waltzes away.
あ、最後にもう一つだけ。授業はサボるなよ。
You thought that was gonna be okay, though. Well, that ends that fantasy. We tough it out until the school day ends. As always, we're walking the road back home together.
ねえお兄ちゃん、
Hmm?
実は私ね、キューピッドになろうかなって考えてるの。
Why? I'm Cupid. I'd have done a double take if she hadn't said it in such clear terms. Wait, you'd really become...
もういくらなんでも驚きすぎ。
I just didn't expect you to say something like that. What in the world brought this on?
キューピッドはね、今でもマヨネーズっぽくてダサいと思ってるけど、
Mayonnaise is delicious!
でもお兄ちゃんにいろいろ教えてもらったから。
What could I possibly have taught you?
愛の素晴らしさとか、他人を信じる気持ちとか。
I don't believe I taught her anything of the sort. I'm sure she already knew both of those things deep down. She just refused to recognize that until I finally came around myself.
この気持ちをいろんな人に知ってもらいたい。
By forcing them to feel a certain way with your magic powers? I don't know about that.
だから私、キューピッドになりたい。あと、このままだと超悔しいから。ポンコツって言われちゃったんだよ。すっごく悔しい。
Stubborn as usual, I see.
それに、キューピッドってかなり給料がいいからね。
Think Cupid is a salaried position?
慈善活動じゃないんだから、もちろん出るよ。私がお兄ちゃんを養ってあげる。
I don't have to work? Hell yeah! Alright, do it! So I'm stuck marrying into money after all, am I? Marrying my sister for money, huh? Gold digging plus sister. Sis digging? Oh, that sounds weird.
だから私、キューピッドになりたい。
He repeats her declaration for emphasis. I'm sure you'd make a fine one, Emmy.
でも、キューピッドって名前はダサいから、何か別の名称を考えないとね。
You can just decide on a new one yourself?
わかんないけど、いいんじゃない？
Whatever you say.
私、ダサいのも古臭いのも好きじゃないから。
I owe our first meeting in part to that.
キューピッドなんてどうかな？かっこよくない？
No, it's the same name! Nah, even worse. Fussing over operative names aside, I'm actually glad Emmy has chosen to try to become Cupid. Emmy's going to have a difficult time getting to that point. But with her heart where it is now, I know she has the determination to do it.
お兄ちゃん、これからもいっぱい迷惑をかけるかもしれないけど、ポンコツを卒業するまでよろしくね。
I wonder if there's gonna be an after story route 2 in the fan disc, and not just like a full-blown harem route. If there is, I'm probably gonna play that right after this one because I am curious about what the hell they're gonna show us in the future. I'll be with you along after that happens.
ずっとずっと一緒だよ、お兄ちゃん。
I'm surprised I actually don't care about the harem route, guys. These girls are actually not that bad. And alright, with that said, this is the end of this episode. Well, the end of the episode and also for Emmy's route. So as I said, next episode we're gonna be doing the side story for Reika-san, and then we'll do Riria, and then we'll do Rinchan, we'll do Arle, and then we'll do Yusan last. That is going to be the plan for this game. And we'll see how good all the other routes are, but so far I actually don't mind these stories. The humor of this game is actually what makes me keep coming back to it. The amount of just outright ridiculous, outrageous stuff that they say is what makes me really enjoy the scenes and, you know, just overall playing the game. But yeah, hope you guys enjoyed the episode. Give this video a like if you guys like it. Sub if you guys haven't. Patreon will be getting these episodes early access along with everything uncensored. YouTube members will also get these videos early access but not uncensored. So yeah, just do it on Patreon, guys, because this game, for this series in particular, I don't think you're missing out a lot if you guys don't see the 8 scenes. They are amazing. Also, for people on YouTube that aren't on Patreon just yet, feel free to become a free member because that's gonna be where I put first episode previews of future playthroughs. Alright, with that said, guys, I will see you guys tomorrow. People on YouTube, members, and Patreon anyway. People on YouTube that aren't members, I'll see you guys in 2 to 3 days.